Welcome to Amplifying Leadership and Tip Thursday with Tara, your weekly dose of practical leadership tips and strategies you can apply immediately to your team and your work. I am Tara Lehman, founder and CEO at Amplifying Leadership. Each week, I'll share insights and takeaways designed to help you build, enhance, and grow your leadership skills. It's actionable guidance you can use right away. Welcome back to our next tip, where we are going to talk a little bit about team alignment and leadership alignment. Most people immediately think of strategic documents or annual goals or those team meetings where everything kind of gets laid out for the next year or the 5-year plan. However, that is where misalignment can show up as well. We can hear the strategy, understand what the vision is and the goals, but sometimes work can get duplicated. Maybe priorities shift or change. People are busy, so they're not always focused in the same direction. They are actually doing work, but then the work is not taking you where you had hoped to go. I see my clients, and I see it consistently with them, is that alignment or the vision is often treated like a one-time communication instead of an ongoing leadership practice. So, hey, everybody, this is the goal for this year. This is our 5-year vision. Let's work towards that. It doesn't work. So, today's tip is really about shifting how you can approach the idea of that. So, let me break down what I mean. Alignment doesn't break because people don't care about what they're doing or about what you've set for a vision. But sometimes it doesn't work because we're all different. We come from different backgrounds. So what we hear can be a different priority or a different vision because you've just stated some words. And so that can change our priorities over time, especially when the day-to-day pressures take over. And of course, the famous miscommunications, because they will happen, do happen. So unless you create that space where you're going to ensure people understood and that you are understanding them, you're going to end up leading based on assumptions that you're making or they're making instead of the reality of what you were hoping to achieve. So I have a tool for you today. The tool really is simple. Bring your team into a structured alignment conversation that focuses on understanding the vision or the goals or the 5-year plan, not just stating what it is. There's no status updates here. There's no task tracking here. You're really focusing on, do they understand where we're going? And it's not that anybody is looked at down to because maybe they didn't fully get it. You need to understand we all hear things, see things, and feel things differently. You need to ensure understanding if you want everybody to be on the same track. So what does this look like? Think about this at your next team meeting, or if you don't usually have one, I suggest you do this, or it could be even a smaller group check-in. I want you to change how you open the meeting. So instead of the task-focused question of what's everybody working on or what's the status of this, and this, I want you to actually think about asking or saying something like, I want to step back today and I want to look at where we see our direction right now as it connects to the vision or the goals or the strategy or whatever it is that you are sharing. And I don't want to know just how you're doing. I want to know how you're connecting. That alone can change the tone in the room for just, this is my task today, to understanding what these tasks actually have to do with the vision and do they connect. Now you need to be curious. Something I talk a lot too about with my clients is being curious and asking questions because you want to invite their feedback. It's not about performance. It's not about judgment at all. So here are some sample questions that you could try. Maybe when you think about our goals right now, what stands out to you? Or where do you feel your work connects very clearly towards where we're headed? Where does that connection of your work feel less obvious, feel broken towards where we're headed? Doesn't make sense. And what do you think we might be over or under prioritizing right now without even realizing it? Here's the important part. So after you ask, you need to practice the active listening here and not rush to fill the silence if there is silence. Let there be an awkward silence. Let the people process what you're asking if this is different. They often need a bit of space to think through the actual experiences to help answer these questions. They're not prepared for these, and that's okay. We want their honest opinion. So remember, as people respond, you're not fixing anything in the moment, you're not judging, you're listening for patterns. So, for example, are different people describing different priorities as the most important thing to work on? That might mean that they're not following your priorities or the priorities of the organization, or it's not clear what those are. Are some team members clearly seeing the bigger pictures while others are focused maybe on only their little piece of it? Because we need them to understand the connection to the vision. Or maybe you're finding gaps between what you as a leader or the leadership team thinks is clear and what the team is actually acting on, because maybe what you thought was clear truly isn't. None of this is a failure of leadership, by the way. It's not a failure of your team either. It's basically that you need to see this as information, data, and feedback. It's far more useful to find out this data, information, and feedback in a good conversation without judgment than finding it out 6 months to a year later when everything fell off track and nothing is going right. So, this approach does three very important things. First, it focuses on misalignment to that vision very early before it becomes a performance based issue and not with the employee, but maybe for your company. It also gives you insight into how your communication and messaging is actually being received and not just how it was intended. So that might mean you need to adjust how you're communicating because maybe you're not coming across correctly. It also then finally builds the ownership and buy-in. So when people can be part of a conversation about a vision or strategy or direction or goals, they stop seeing it as something that is just said to them and handed to them and start going and doing, and start seeing it as something they actually can contribute to. That makes them feel valued, by the way. This shift will improve execution, it improves accountability, it improves performance, and it absolutely can improve engagement. One thing I do want to flag here, though, is it's not about turning every meeting into some long, drawn out 2 hour discussion. It's very easy for us as leaders or people who are owning the conversation to swing too far and overcomplicate and let people go on tangents. You don't need a 2 hour workshop, you just need consistency. Even 10 minutes of a structured alignment conversation at the beginning of a team or even a one on one meeting done regularly, or maybe you ask one question, will do a lot more for clarity and ensuring proper communication, being understood and understand, than occasional deep dives that never get repeated or that statement that you say once a year. If this feels a little bit new to you to do this type of conversation, don't overthink it. Just start small, pick one meeting, pick 1 to 2 questions that I mentioned, ask them at the beginning of your discussion, use your ears, less of your mouth, so listen more than you talk, and notice what comes up for those themes or those gaps. Remember, we're looking for the gaps, the assumptions as well, and the patterns. That's where you can grow and you can help your team be more aligned to goals or visions because now you can better communicate what you're hoping to achieve. It's something that you need to maintain through ongoing conversations, as I said, so we can keep everyone connected to the same direction, even if priorities do shift, changes do happen, or work gets suddenly busy. We still need to keep that alignment. When you build that into how you lead, you stop relying on all the assumptions and stories people tell themselves, and you start leading with a clarity that is a shared clarity towards your vision, goals, or strategic direction. For more tools on this tip, we have posted an extended Tip Thursday with Tara on our Circle community for our Inner Circle members. Try the Amplifying Leadership Circle community out for free today. Information and free trial links are available on our website. That's your Tip Thursday with Tara for this week. If you're looking to clarify leadership priorities, build strong, empowered teams, or empower those around you, I'm here to help. Explore our programs, coaching, in the Amplifying Leadership Circle community at amplifyingleadership.ca, because leadership is better when we do it together. Remember, until next time, leadership matters.